today, just 2 days after the election, November 10th, 2016, 21st century. I've just seen an article on the news about protesters protesting the election of Donald Trump. Believe me, I'm just as shocked as you are. I found myself rooting for him in the election and saying, get those electoral votes, get those electoral votes. You've got to win, you've got to win. You've got to beat that bitch, lion, traitor, mass murdering, cunt puke Hillary. You've got to. We can't have that bitch being president of the United States. We just can't. You want to protest something? I got something you can protest. I'll give you a few examples of some worthy causes. Try these. Illegal dress codes in America. A free society where people are not told what to wear, are not punished or put in jail for exercising their freaking natural, inalienable human right to wear whatever the fuck they want. And I'm talking mostly here about public schools and dress codes in public schools. That common sense would tell you that in a free society, you just don't allow the fucking government to tyrannize and bully you. There are a lot of really, really bad cases of government criminality and insanity against the freedom and lives of human beings and Americans. But talk about what you can do. Talk about what you should be protesting. If you wanted to protest something, really, why aren't you protesting the illegal application and exercising of the criminal practice of dress codes? It's not allowed in a free society. It's just not. The principles of freedom are very clear here. The government can't tell us what to wear or what not to wear. They sure as hell can't punish us for wearing a t-shirt that somebody doesn't like. Seriously, dress codes. And I'm just throwing this in here at the beginning of the list because I'll get more relevant to the actual protests around the country about the election, which, as far as I can tell, was legitimate and valid, and the people voted, and they voted for Hillary. They lost, and just between you and me, if you voted for Hillary Clinton, you are a loser. Loser. Because, I don't know why. How about this? The refusal of the government to bring charges against a known criminal, felon, traitor, mass murderer, liar, which is, in this case, in the case of Hillary Clinton, she's a liar, which makes her a felon because it's against the law for the government official to lie to the American people. Duh. Refer to those principles of freedom again, where, if you are an employee of someone, you don't steal from your employer. You don't steal from your employer. You just don't. I mean, that's a crime. It's a felony. You don't lie to your employer. That would be, in this case, it would be the American people. And Hillary Clinton lied. I know we allow criminals like, politicians, politicians to lie all the time. We just, that's okay. He's a politician. He's allowed to lie. If that's your standard, then you're a fucking idiot. Seriously. Because no, they're not. I mean, if you had a servant in your house, like a maid or a butler, a chauffeur, even a bodyguard, whatever, someone working for you in your house, in your home, in your being, your life, and that person is stealing your jewelry. I'm talking about jewelry, like men wear jewelry too, like watches and bracelets and rings and stuff. Don't be a dick. I'm talking about men and women. Jewelry. It's a universal accessory to, the body. Anyway, seriously. So, known criminal, traitor, mass murderer, felony liar, someone who is guilty of, as fuck, by the way, of crimes against humanity, domestic terrorism, international terrorism, and who is anti-freedom, anti-nature, and in cahoots with known criminals. Not to mention criminal cover-ups of, things like 9/11 and complicity in the murder of 74 innocent men, women, and children in Waco, Texas. This is, there's evidence, I'm sorry, but there's evidence that she was involved at the highest level of government with the murder of those people. Murder of those people. Oh, the ghastly, outrageous, disgusting, despicable murder, burning of them alive and stuff in a building, in their home. Private people doing what they have every right to do. However foolish it may seem to us that, the Branch Davidians and those guys, I mean, they might be fools, but, you can't murder people just because they're idiots. It's too bad. I'm sorry about that. I really sometimes wish we could, but, you can't. I mean, before you could actually put someone to death, you actually have to have some, for example, you have to have evidence that somebody committed treason or crimes against humanity. I mean, if somebody committed crimes against humanity, they use this word war crimes, but I have a problem with that, and I won't get into it, but if you committed crimes against humanity, American human beings are pretty much justified in putting you to death. Like they did, what's his name? Saddam Hussein. Hung that bastard. And, the United States government's pretty much responsible for that. Murder. He was murdered. I mean, he wasn't like shooting at you or anything. He was just standing there with, on a gallows and stretched his neck after supposedly getting a fair trial, which I'm not even going to get into that. But anyway, and then there's the the murderous criminal, illegal criminal. How can I say it otherwise? It's just fucking criminal. Operation of Hillary was in a position of power and exercised authority to, which doesn't really have, but didn't really have then either, but, sending some special ops people over the, helicopter, land in the guy's yard and bust in his house in the middle of the night and fucking shoot him in the face. That's murder. That's a crime. Oh, and being in a foreign country. That's invasion of a foreign country, which is a crime, an international crime. That's an act of terrorism. They broke international law. Hillary and her fucking gang of murderous bastards and traitors and maniacs. Why aren't you protesting that? Why aren't you protesting the fact that she was allowed to run for president? And we know for a fact that she lied. We know for a fact that she committed crimes against humanity. Because, if you send people to a foreign country, it's like hiring a hitman to go and kill some guy in Pakistan. That's a crime. That's a capital crime, Hiring hitmen and having, directing them to go into a foreign country. That's a crime to invade a foreign country, by the way. And that is a crime. And that's a crime against humanity. International crime. It's domestic. Domestic laws and international laws say clearly, you don't invade foreign countries and murder people in that country. It's a crime worthy of being put to death. On the leagues, on the level of Adolf Hitler invading foreign countries and murdering people like Jews and stuff. Murder. Guilty. Adolf Hitler, if he was alive after the war, they would have hung the bastard. And rightfully so. You don't just go off into foreign countries and, land in somebody's yard in a helicopter and, burst into their house and shoot them in the face. You just don't. It's a crime. It's insane. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. It's absurd. But you're not protesting that. What the fuck's wrong with you? Are you a fucking moron? Yes, I'm ranting and raving again. Shit. It's just that it's insane. What's wrong with you people? I like to maintain some sort of civility here and calm and just present you with the facts and logical conclusions and make some critical analytic observations. But sometimes you morons just fucking piss me off. Thank God for... Oh, did I say God? Thank me. Thank the fact that I have the right to say this truth and this reality, this logical thing. What kind of moron are you? I'm going to protest the election of a guy. Why? I'm going to guess that you've been brainwashed, duped, jerked around, manipulated, indoctrinated, contaminated, tainted, brainwashed since the day you were born, pretty much. And I'm sorry, but your credibility is zero. And yet, Hillary, my candidate didn't win. My Hillary, beautiful, wonderful woman that she is. Oh, piece of shit, cunt, puke, motherfucker, bitch. And you're protesting because Donald Trump was elected? So much for accepting the results of the election. I know people were like outraged. They're like, that son of a bitch, he's done. He's finished. Because he says he may not accept the results of the election. And, what he meant was, if there's obviously voter fraud, if there's obvious rigging of the elections by Hillary and her gang of freaking thugs and criminals and psychopaths and, you know what I mean. Shit. Protesting Trump? What? He hasn't even done anything yet. He's not even in office yet. Protesting the election. But you didn't, did you protest the election of Obama? I don't remember. Did anybody protest against the election of Obama? Did anybody protest the re-election of George Bush after he'd already proven himself to be a fucking psychopath? Criminal, traitor, scumbag piece of shit? And he's like, he's still walking around free and Are you protesting that? The fact that he's a fucking criminal? A mass murdering bastard? You know, directly responsible for the deaths. Murder. Murder. I said murder. Of over 1 million people in Iraq. And other places. You know, I'm sorry. That liar? That pun scum piece of shit. And he's walking around free. And he was, he's president 2 terms. Oh. Didn't protest that, did you? Why aren't you out in the streets protesting for that? Why don't you protest the fact that, George Bush and his gang of murdering, thieving, lying, treasonous pieces of shit gang and thugs and... Why aren't you protesting that? And better yet, how come you're not going down to his house, wherever he's living now, Texas somewhere? Go down there, find the bastard, and arrest him. And, drag him off to some court somewhere. I don't know. Can't get a fair trial in America? I guess not. How about this? Ship him off to The Hague so he can be executed. I mean, tried, convicted, and executed for crimes against humanity. Like Saddam Hussein was. Like Adolf Hitler would have been if he hadn't killed himself. Like Stalin, if anybody had actually, had the balls to fucking arrest him. Pol Pot, you know what I mean? People like that. Charlie Manson. Psychopaths, criminals, evil, disgusting. Deserve to be dead kind of people. Really. But you're not protesting any of that, are ya? You fucking hypocrite. Sorry. I'm sorry. You're just a sorry bunch of fucking losers. Are you protesting anything at all legit? Anything valid? Anything you certainly have a legitimate complaint to protest about? How about this? How about, I'll just stick with Hillary here for a little bit. How about this? All right, hold on. Let me get my place. I lost my place here in my little script. Yeah. How come you're not protesting election fraud and felonious rigging of elections and the electoral process? Hillary, we know she did. Remember Bernie Sanders? The guy that she, and her people, her mafia. And you didn't protest that, did you? Did you? Thousands of people are out in the streets protesting the election of Donald Trump. I'm sorry. Were you out there protesting the Hillary Clinton running for fucking president when we know for a fucking fact that she's guilty of, crimes against humanity, murder, treason, irresponsibility, didn't do her job as Secretary of State, blah, blah, blah. On and on and on and on. Not protesting that, are you? Do you think if Hillary had won the election, gag me with a fork. If she'd won the election, I wonder if anybody would have been protesting that. Maybe. You people are, it just boggles the mind. I'm not saying you shouldn't protest. I'm not saying you don't have a right to protest. I mean, sure, go ahead. Have fun. Enjoy yourself. You got the right. Do it. Exercise your freedom. But, I'm exercising mine by looking at you and saying, you're a fucking idiot. I'm exercising my right to think you're a fool. I have the right to say, these people got brain cells that are like 2, and like maybe I'm thinking retarded. Well, it's a legitimate scientific word. You know, if you got brain cells, you know, if your brain functions on a level of like a 12-year-old, you know, I'm guessing, and you're 30 or 40 or 50 years old or something like that, you know, like, guess what? You're fucking retarded. If you can't see the contradiction and the irony in your stupid shit, I'm protesting Donald Trump, he run election. You know, he hasn't done anything yet, so when, you know, why don't you just save it for when he actually does something illegal? To my knowledge, he hasn't committed any crimes, not any felonies, not that I know of. I've never seen any evidence. I've heard a lot of innuendo and insinuations and allegations, and, you know, I haven't seen any facts, any proof that those things were true. And even if they were true, I'm sorry. Not a capital crime, but, you know, treason is. And I can give you more than one example of when Obama committed treason. Signing the, what is it, DNAA, that one, you know, and, you know, allowing the Patriot Act to continue, allowing the TSA to continue to terrorize and criminal behavior against, you know, innocent people at freaking airports and spying on us, NSA. Remember those? Yeah. Are you protesting that? Fuck no. Americans got to be dumbest people on the planet. Sorry. I just calls them as I sees them. All right. Mention, you know, Hillary being involved in that murder of an innocent man. By the way, innocent until proven guilty. And, you know, Hillary has been proven guilty, by the way. And, you know, Donald Trump hasn't been proven guilty of anything that I know of. Probably because there's no evidence to go by. Can't make a logical, calculated conclusion if you don't have some evidence. Proven, factual evidence. You know, some woman saying, "Oh, he touched me," you know, like 25 years ago. I mean, excuse me? That's just, you know, that's just sad. Like, what? So, he did touch you. Maybe not. He said you didn't do it. Total lies. Bullshit. No, you raped me. No. No evidence. No crimes. No charges against nothing. Just bullshit. In fact, many of those charges have been proven not to be true. A lie. A fraudulent scheme perpetuated by, I wonder who. Maybe Hillary. Since we have people that were, and as far as, you know, the violence at Donald Trump rallies, we have proof because we have a fucking confession on tape of somebody, you know their names are in the news, you look them up. You know what I'm talking about. Confessed to fucking sending, you know, mentally ill people to the rallies, Donald Trump rallies, you know, to cause trouble. That's a crime. That's a fucking felony. So I'm thinking, how come you're not protesting Hillary not being arrested for that? Felony. Since we have the facts now, I mean some of the facts that have been proven to be true, and Trump, I don't know, suppose he did touch some woman. Hey, touch me. He touched me. And that's like what, a felony? I don't think so. Sorry. I grab her ass. I grab her pussy, whatever. You know, words. Words mean what they mean, and they're important because you can translate, communicate with words. The English language, for example, which has been bastardized by the mind benders, you know, the socialist collective agenda people. Yeah, and the neocons are in there too, because there's a neocon alliance with the socialists. They got a thing going, you know. on the worst case scenario, New World Order. Sometimes I'm just so disgusted I could puke. So anyway, yeah, you want to protest something? How come you're not protesting, let me think. NSA. How come you're not protesting the NSA spying on all of us? How come? That's a crime. Duh. Since it's a constitutional crime, that's like treason. That's like capital crime. You know what I'm saying? NSA spied on us. We know this for a fact. Thank you, Mr. Snowden and Mr. Manning, Miss Manning, whatever are now. I don't know. Other people. Thank you for proving that these monsters are freaking criminals, traitors. How come you're not protesting the TSA at the freaking airport? How come you're not like thousands of you down at the airport, your local airport, saying, "Hey, TSA, you guys, you're under arrest. Get the fuck out of the airport." Or you're going to be arrested and tried and convicted of fucking all kind of crimes like treason and felony groping of innocent people, like little girls and shit. How come you're not protesting that? You should be. You should be out there saying, like I said, at the airport. Every one of us in America should be at the airport saying, "Hey, TSA guy, yeah, fuck you. Get out of here or we're going to tar and feather you. Put you in a rail and dump you in the sea so we don't have any bodies." I'm referring to Osama bin Laden alleged body. Alleged. Dump him in the sea so he can't prove that we actually murdered the bastard. Hey, no body. Can't prove that he was murdered, then can you? Oh yeah, that's why. You know what I mean? It's like if you're a criminal, you commit a crime like go to a foreign country and murder somebody, which is what they did. There's no doubt there. The United States government murdered somebody. Murder. Crime. Felony. Capital crime. People responsible for the death of this guy in freaking Pakistan, if it occurred the way they say, murdered the guy in his house in the middle of the night. I'm sorry. You deserve the death penalty. Not just the hitman that actually carried out the crime, but the people that ordered them to do it, like Obama and Hillary. Yeah, death penalty. Sorry, death penalty. Crimes against humanity, among other crimes, felonies. All right. Don't get me wrong. I didn't vote for the Trump. Nope, didn't. Because I have principles. I adhere to certain principles. One of them being is you don't vote for someone if you think maybe he's a lunatic. But 51 million people dead? Sometimes democracy scares me. Sometimes people scare me because they're like freaking lunatics. Oh, we're lunatics, so we're going to vote for a lunatic. Don't tell me he's not a lunatic. I mean, I'm sorry. He is a president. He's going to be the president. He's elected president. Like I said, I don't know of him ever going to Pakistan and murdering somebody in the middle of the night. I don't know. Maybe he did murder someone. I don't know. I've never heard any evidence. I've never heard anybody even accuse Donald Trump of murdering anybody. Oh, I'm surprised Hillary didn't come up with that one somewhere along the line. Donald Trump isn't fit to be president. He murdered somebody. Oh, sorry. Excuse me, Hillary, but I wouldn't be throwing stones. You know what I'm saying? Because glass house. What kind of glass house we're talking about? Well, for one thing, glass house, uh, Clinton Foundation. Duh. I'd say ship Hillary off and Bill, now that that's over and we're done with that and she should disappear, I'd say ship her off to Haiti and say, here she is, and here's her freaking thieving husband, and, do what you want with them, because they're scum of the earth. I'm guessing a lot of Haitians would say, yeah, come here, Hillary, come here, Bill, we got something for you. And there they are, hanging from a tree. Anyhow, didn't vote for Trump. Who I voted for? None of your business. But it wasn't those two people. Guarantee it wasn't either one of those maniac, lunatic, crazy people. See, I can defend principle. I can defend principle. I can even protest against those who violate principles, like freedom, like the rights of human beings. Yeah. And I'm guessing for the next 4 years, I'm going to be protesting in one way or another, verbally, in various comments I'm going to be making over the next 4 years about Donald Trump and his lunacy. Start out with his, but plenty of time for me to get into that later, when he's actually the president and he actually does something criminal. I think it's criminal not to bring the troops home from foreign countries. Just saying. All right. Anyhow, for you people protesting the election of Donald Trump, get a fucking life. At least protest something worth protesting over. How about protesting the police in this country? I protest the police because they murder people in the streets in this country. The coppers, the pigs, the fucking motherfucking police state cocksuckers. And no, make no mistake, every cop in this country belongs to that club, that organization. It comes under the heading of, the title and the banner, law enforcement, which is a Nazi term, by the way. That's the Gestapo. And that's pretty much what we got in America today. The Gestapo, the SS, the Stasi. Just look at what they're doing to those Indian people out there in the Dakotas. Committing crimes against Americans. That's treason. That's a hanging offense. All right. So, I've had my little say, my little rant over, Americans protesting Donald Trump's election. You freaking get a life. What are you, fucking 12? Playwright, I'm going to take my ball and go home. I remember that from when I was 6 years old. We're down in the field. We're playing football, baseball. We got the ball. We got a bat. Some kids got a glove. Miraculous thing, because if I'd ever imagined civilians having a baseball glove, Anyway. And some kid, he gets all pissed off because he got thrown out at first base or struck out for the fourth time or whatever. And, I'm taking my ball and go home. Yep. I remember that. I was 6. Most of the kids that were in the group were under 10. They were kids. I'm going to take my ball and go home. I ain't playing with you people anymore because you keep, striking me out or whatever. Newsflash. I'm not 6 anymore. And you're not either. So fucking grow up. You want to protest something? How about this? Protest the murder of those innocent people in those foreign countries like Syria, Libya, Iraq, Afghanistan. Yeah, you want to protest something? Protest something that's like real, valid, legit. You know, common sense. Protest the indoctrination of our children in public schools and our adolescents. Children and adolescents. That's two different groups of people. Children under 12, usually prepubescent, 8 years old. Children. Once you hit puberty, once you start, like girls, once your boobs start to grow, you're not a child anymore. And if you don't understand that, people, if you don't grasp the concept of biological maturity of the stages of maturity of a human being, infant, child, pubescent, adolescent. The word adolescent, there's a clue there. Adult-lescent, meaning less than a full adult. Not mature into a complete grown-up yet. But getting there. Because, she's got tits and she's got hair around her vagina. And the boys are, oh, wow, look at him. He's got a heart on. Woo-wee. Yeah, you want to protest something? How about this? Protest. Okay, wait for it. How about this? Protest. I already covered that. Pretty much said what I had to say. So, I'm just going to stop now and with these words, okay? Grow the fuck up. Put your brain cells into, functioning gear and think. Stop being a fucking prick. Alright, done with this one. I'll be posting this later on today. And then you can hear it. And then you can say, I got something to say about that. And then you say to yourself another thing like this. It's radio. And it's a monologue. So, yeah, but you can still leave a comment in the comment section underneath it on my radio page or on my YouTube channel. Got lots of shows on there. Leave a comment if you want, if you're brave enough. Yeah. Protest me. Go ahead. See what happens. I'm guessing nothing. Except that I will think you're a raven, blooming idiot. But okay, fine. I'm allowed. It's okay. I'm going to stop now. Catch you next time. Have a good day. And, oh, by the way, have sex. It's fun. Seriously. And it's good for you. And it's not a crime. Contrary to what idiots tell you, having sex is not a crime. Sex is not a crime. Being nude is not a crime either, by the way. It's not. There might be a law, but the law is invalid. And why don't you protest that? Why don't you protest the laws of saying, I can't wear a T-shirt to school because it's got like NRA written on it or something. And other stuff like that. All right. Goodbye. Talk to you later.